Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Healthy and Wealthy and Wise podcast, hosted by yours truly, Misty Magdalena Grace, also known as Magical Mags. I am an abundance alchemist, helping you alchemize fear into love, pain into purpose, scarcity or lack into abundance, so that you can live your best life, your best health, your best wealth, your best relationships by trusting your best wisdom within. Please enjoy the show, like and subscribe, and leave a review if you see value in this amazing show. And feel free to stay in till the end. You may have a surprise gift waiting for you on the other side of this episode. Hey, happy Saturday, everybody. This is the 4/4 portal day. Also, I'm super excited to be closing out almost 6 years and 400 episodes on my iTunes podcast. So I have had a couple of you faithful followers reaching out, kind of freaking out a little bit, and I'll explain. As they say, but wait, there's more. I'm not closing my YouTube channel. I am closing my audio Healthy and Wealthy and Wise podcast. So much has happened since I launched this show, and there's that song, Closing Time. You know, everything has to end so that something new can be reborn. Case in point, it's Easter weekend, just throwing that out there, a great time for me to do this, because as the founder of the Lotus Throne Sanctuary, we talk about death, rebirth, and renewal all of the time. So in order for things to be rebirthed or born again or renewed, whatever you want to call it, something has to die. And Christ himself gave that as an example. I won't get down the rabbit hole of what's the truth about that. That's not what this podcast is about today. But at the end of the day, I thought I would have like an official goodbye, farewell, amen podcast. And if you have questions about my podcasting journey and you happen to catch me on the live, this isn't meant to be a long podcast. I just felt, because I do a lot of work around grief and abandonment and closure. And I do believe that it was really fated, destined, that as we enter into the year of the horse, as we enter into Aries season, right? Hello, April 2026 will be going down in history as the month where a lot of things ended and began. I know people have been like, but I thought last year was the year of the snake, Magdalena. Why are we still shedding? Well, guess what? A lot of things have to die when something is reborn. So we're going through a rebirth as a planet. And so there's a lot of people quitting jobs, ending marriages, ending partnerships, ending podcasts. And so when I reflected, and I got this download this week, actually, that, it's time. It's time. Just like I tell my clients, tapping into the divine feminine energy and the intuition has taught me so many things. Instead of grasping and holding on to people, places, things, substances, whatever, it's time it's time to let go. When I was microdosing with ayahuasca, the medicine, and my intuition said, it's time. We're done. That's why I'm not a huge fan of the abstinence model. I mean, I want to be respectful, but if someone says just give up alcohol or drugs or whatever, and then a lot of people think life is all of a sudden just going to get better. Well, not really. It's actually going to get worse before it gets better, because more and more things have to be disentangled, unraveled. And then one day it's just like Forrest Gump. He just stopped running. All of the analogies that I can share with you, I'll leave those aside now and get to the meat of the episode today. And so, yes, I am going to keep my YouTube channel. I'm actually in the process of taking this month also to sit with the new YouTube channel. A lot of YouTubers, influencers out there have multiple channels. So I'm taking this month of this Aries season of getting all those planets in Aries fire direction, like burning away, burning off again, still what doesn't serve me, and what am I going to start new? This is the true astrological new year. And sometimes the new year doesn't mean you have to all of a sudden, boom, April 1st, you start something new, but it is spring. So I talk a lot about what seeds are you planting. I'm teaching yoga tomorrow, and the whole idea there is the sacred union within. What are you letting die off and heal in your feminine and masculine? And what are you going to birth with that feminine, masculine co-creative energy, life force energy, prana, chi, the Sophia, the true Kundalini Shakti, the true energy that drives us all that has been suppressed for thousands of years. And so I want to be able to talk more about that openly. And so I'm going to have a separate channel. It might be about women's empowerment and witchy woman stuff and sacred sexuality and more about Sophia. Stay tuned. But I want to take a little bit of a tour with you, a journey down memory lane with my greatest hits, my greatest lessons that I have received. And again, if you have questions on the live or the replay, feel free to comment below. I'll do my best to answer those in the coming weeks. So when I started this podcast in July of 2020, ironically or not ironically, I started it the day before Mary Magdalene Day. July 20th and 21st, I had a back-to-back double headers, 16 episodes that I released. I had hired a podcast coach with the intention of mostly, quite honestly, to have a sales funnel, to have a way to speak my truth, to be seen, to be heard, to be paid. And especially because we were in a pandemic, it was like, well, I got to get my message out there somehow. And admittedly, I did sign up for a program with Jamie Atkinson, who was my coach and mentor for about a year, how to monetize a podcast to six figures. So truth be told, I did it part as a passion project, but I was like, mama's got to make some money. It's the pandemic. And I did. I monetized this podcast that you're watching or listening to for one last time on iTunes and Podbean. I made over six figures that year in a pandemic. And guess what, though? By doing all these interviews, by making all this money, guess what? I didn't feel happiness. I didn't feel joy. I didn't feel a humble pride about my show. I was miserable and dying inside. So the podcast actually was a part of my awakening back in 2020, 2021, and 2022 that helped me realize, oh my gosh, I'm living a lie. I'm wearing masks. True story. There was even a couple of episodes where I was mildly drunk in those first 2 years. I have zero shame about sharing that with you because I was so miserable. I was a closet alcoholic. I wanted to die. I felt like a worthless mom. And yet here I was, healthy and wealthy and wise, right? So that mirroring in some ways helped me realize, gosh darn it, I'm kind of a hypocrite right here, right now. I have digestive issues. I have an alcohol problem. My brother died of alcoholism. My mom died 2020. And I lost so many people to suicide. I even had my podcast every year was Suicide Awareness Month in September. Oftentimes May is Mental Health Month. So I was trying to shine my light, but there was a lot of darkness and drudgery holding me back and holding me down. And so, true story though, I was proud of myself because 80% of podcasters quit after 2 months and probably 90% of them spend more money than they make. So I kept going because it became my lifeline. It became one of the things that kept me going. And quite candidly, there was about 2 years in there where I didn't work a whole lot because I was suffering. I was going through all of my medicine journeys. I was going through all my grief and trauma recovery, addiction recovery. I was going through all of my certifications and all of the things, and I was working on myself. My podcast was like my megaphone to keep my business open enough. And through that process, I never did sponsorships. I never did paid ads. I monetized it through giving value and attracting clients to me, both through YouTube and my iTunes and Podbean platforms that hired me. So I had the long game in mind. And ultimately, I have coached a few people on how to build, sales funnels through podcasts and YouTube channels. So it gave me a lot of reps, a repetition, like I was a personal trainer. So it made me stronger in my speaking ability. It also helped me face my fears. A lot of people, fear of public speaking is before death, right? So even though there was times they're always hiding, I still believed that this show is inspiring, educating, and equipping people to live a better health, a better wealth, and ultimately a better relationship with themselves. Amazing interviews, amazing guests, too many to name here. I had the first podcast Franco Romero was on. Some of his shows now have 19,000 views. I've talked about everything from death, divorce, spirituality, shamanism, all the way to building sales funnels, SEO, lead generation, and then of course my true passion at the core of all of this: health, mental, physical, spiritual, emotional. So I just felt that I wanted to share this in case there's anyone out there too that's struggling and thinking, do I want to start a podcast? Do I want to start a YouTube channel? I have an autoimmune disease in my throat, so this channel was therapy for me. And sometimes I know the biggest reason most people don't succeed in podcasting or go past the 2-month mark or make money with it is because they don't know how to, build even a marketing plan and all that kind of stuff. So I was lucky. I have had 26, almost 27 years of lead generation and sales experience in marketing and email list building and all of those kinds of things. But for a lot of people, it was that fear of rejection, the fear of being judged, fear of not being liked, the bullshit that we all are healing right now on the planet. And so it helped me overcome those fears over time. And in 2023, when I celebrated my 3rd year anniversary, I came out of the broom closet, changed my name to Misty Magdalena Grace, still kept the same name of my podcast, still kept the YouTube channel, still kept the podcast going on iTunes and Podbean, but I changed my name, my chosen name. And there's even a podcast about that. I'm not going to go into the weeds of that right now, but it was by shedding and stripping the layers, facing my fears every day, speaking my truth, or even behind masks on my podcast to give me that space. In some ways, it's why people go to talk therapists, right? They want to be seen, be heard, probably not getting paid by your therapist, right? So this can be a lead magnet, but for me, it became a soul liberation and passion project that I kept going. It wasn't about monetizing for 6 figures after that first year, quite admittedly. It was a way to give myself hope by giving you hope. So, and I know there's times where I got 50 to 100 downloads on iTunes or Podbean, and I launched into the top 10 in certain countries, the top 20 in entrepreneurship. But then as I shifted my journey into spirituality is the new focus, different genre. There we go. That's what it's called. I was able to really just get into my own skin and my own heart and not live a lie anymore, not to keep those masks on anymore. So it helped me shift my identity, helped me rip off the masks and become so unashamedly, unabashedly my true self. And ultimately, it helped me wake up. So I wanted to say thank you, goodbye, farewell, amen. And so it is. My favorite episode of MASH, the last episode of MASH, is so brutal. And I cried and I cried and cried. But guess what? I got to watch it again. So I did cry this week, and I said, you know what? Thank you. It is finished. And it's time to move on. Whether I start a new podcast is yet to be remain seen. And when I mean, again, podcast, just to be clear, I'm going to keep my YouTube channel going because I want to focus on one thing, and that's YouTube. A lot of times in sales and marketing, we spread ourselves kind of thin. And as I've simplified my life, as I've simplified and let go of so many toxic relationships, got divorced, stripping away programs and offers and all of these things that we create as entrepreneurs, right? I get to indirectly, energetically also say thank you to myself and my past. And I'm also doing this to model to you if there's something in your life that's really hard to let go of. Maybe a toxic person, job, substance addiction, whatever, just the more you do your daily practice, the more you're going to be able to face reality. and stop living in that Neptunian lack of reality, that dream space of some a day maybe. And maybe if you want to launch a podcast, reach out to me. It's something that we could absolutely talk about. Maybe you want to launch a YouTube channel. It's actually something we can talk about. So I'd love to just, say thank you one last time for if you've been a supporter, whether it was since 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, or maybe you just found me this year. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hello, Dee Dee. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Dee Dee, welcome. Dee Dee was one of my guests. We talked about dream interpretation. So grateful to see you here. So grateful. And Dee Dee knows she's had different channels, right? Different podcasts. Feel free to share anything while you're here live if you want to, what you learned through your journey as a podcaster. If you have questions, as always, email me info@magdalenagrace.com. If you have questions on how I monetized it to 6 figures, or how I had the long game, how I was able to, stay committed and in it to win it when most people quit after 2 months, let me know. Book a consultation. I still have shows coming up and scheduled on YouTube. And if you're on my iTunes or Podbean channel, this is my last audio. And just thank you so much for sticking with me for 400 episodes, or however many that you have partaken in. Yep. And again, I'm excited because as one door closes, another one will open. This is also a time of collaboration. This is a new beginning, a new rebirthing time. And if you celebrate Easter, however you celebrate it this weekend, my truth is honoring the death of that which no longer serves me, and resurrecting my highest and best version of me so I can ascend to the highest vibrational frequency. Christ said the kingdom of heaven lies within. The bride of Christ was not the church, it was Mary Magdalene. Sorry, I guess I got to go there. We'll end on a high note. And if I'm triggering you, you're welcome. Ultimately, part of what this podcast taught me was speaking my truth. And a lot of people, like Joe Rogan, different people out there are speaking their truth, even about political figures. I spoke about my truth about reptilians the other day for the first time, and we're going to talk about more of that this coming week on my YouTube channel with Anthony, the shaman, who is, I believe we were episode 400, Anthony, so that was pretty cool, pretty divine. 5 years, 3 podcasts. Wow, Dee Dee. I am in awe. Congratulations. I just want to acknowledge you. And Dee Dee, I hope I see you at the Sacred Rage Women's event in Temecula, May 16th. Mark it down. So just want to say thank you again. Unless anyone has any questions, I just want to close with one of my favorite readings that goes along with what I believe the true definition of healthy and wealthy and wise is. And it's the quote by Marianne Williamson. So if you don't remember, maybe you're new to my channel, oftentimes I ask my first time guests, what does healthy and wealthy and wise mean to you? And this is, yeah, I might cry. We'll see. I was thinking I could maybe make it through without crying, but we'll see. Doesn't matter because I love crying. Let's see here, one more comment. Oh, there you go. Okay, thanks. So to me, at the beginning, when I channeled the name of my podcast, and it came to me like this, boom, download. That's what I mean by channel, just boom, aha, like you know that you know that you know. There's a deep gnosis, like the Gnostic Gospels of Mary Magdalene and Yeshua. But I was like, oh, my podcast is going to be called Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise. And at that time, I didn't understand truly what that meant for my journey, right? Because at the beginning, health and wealth and relationships, I had a very, 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 very different perspective on that now, obviously, because I was operating from unconsciousness. And so for me, I'm going to read Marianne Williamson's quote about our deepest fear. And this is why I now call myself a soul liberation guide. and help people alchemize fear into love, pain into purpose, grief into gratitude, divorce into deliverance, anger into acceptance, and all of the things. Whatever is the shadow into the light, right? Lead into gold, as Carl Jung said. So here we go. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Because that's who you truly are. Then she goes on to say, actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God, and I'm going to say you are a child of Sophia. You're a child of the goddess. You're a child of the divine feminine, the divine masculine. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make the manifest of the glory of God, Goddess, Sophia, Christ consciousness that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. We've forgotten that amnesia thing. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fears, I might say, our presence automatically liberates others. So that is just kind of like, let that sink into your central nervous system. Maybe take a deep breath. And remember that as you liberate your own fear, plural, your presence automatically liberates others. So just by working on your shadows, transmuting your fear into love, your pain into your purpose, shining your light, stepping into your power and truth in alignment with your highest and best self, inner child, divine mothers, divine fathers, anything is possible. Anything is possible. So again, just thank you. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for subscribing. For those of you on iTunes and Podbean, this is my last goodbye, farewell, amen. Just go and subscribe over on YouTube, and I'll let you know when I have the new channel. It's brewing. The seeds have been planted. It's not ready to be announced or birthed just yet. Still got a few things swirling around and in and around me. So please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell on YouTube, Misty Magdalena Grace, my primary channel right now. And share this if you know someone who's afraid to shine their light. Share this with someone if you know they're afraid to launch a podcast. Share this with someone who's afraid to speak their truth. Share this with someone that you know is maybe hiding in the closet of whatever closet that might be, because there's lots of closets to hide in. I've been in all of them in some way, shape, or form. So thank you. Until next time, here's to your best health, your best wealth, your best relationships by trusting your best wisdom within. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe, download, leave a 5-star rating or review, and also please refer this to a friend you know who may benefit from this inspirational message. We hope to see you again. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel or join my Facebook community. And if you are looking to manifest your best health, your best wealth by trusting your best wisdom within, please go to my website, www.microdosingforhealth.com. Again, www.microdosingforhealth.com. to quiet your mind, get into your heart, heal your body, and manifest your best health and your best wealth.